What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. You know, the black father and the black son are the black sheep of the black family. And I'll tell you why. Shout out to Edward Anderson. He was talking recently, and he was like, he's tired of ladies saying that they didn't know how to be, they weren't raised to be wives, and they don't know how to be women to black men. And he was like, y'all act like we're not raised in the same family or something. Like black men aren't in that same family. So, and also putting in the point of, you don't want to hear that from a guy who's, an adult, and he can't tell you I wasn't, I was raised with my mother, so she couldn't raise me how to be a man. You expect to be with a man when you dealing with an adult male. And I thought about it. I said, man, when we talk about black sheeps, in theory, the number one black sheep in the black family is the black male, because I was looking at Will Smith talk about his dad, and, his dad hit his mom at some point, and that altered him for the rest of his life. But then Dr. T.S. Johnson put out an article where Will Smith, when he was basically an adult, his mom filed for child support, and they had back child support on it. So his dad, basically, they gave him like $140,000 bill. So Will Smith paid it, didn't tell his mom. His mom found out, and she was mad at Will about it, and she gave Will the money back. But the thing about it is, when you're a father, and he talked about, the scene about his dad being sick, and he wanted to push him down the steps while he was taking care of him, and nobody would know. And I was like, that's something you would never say about your mom, though. And this is the thing about as a black man, a black male in the family, as a black father, being a black son, there are things that you can do that are unforgivable for a lifetime. And those things that are unforgivable for a lifetime, it can be an isolated incident. Or it can be, you had 5 bad things happen, 10 bad things happen in a 10-year span that your father was involved in, and because of those 5 or 10 things, that you pretty much, I'm done with them. That doesn't work with your mother or your sister or your auntie. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work. So the moral bar is so high, and they could do some devious stuff, back to back to back to back to back. That level of forgiveness or grace is never extended. When I was thinking about the educational gap, ladies are, go to school so you don't have to get an education, so you don't have to depend on no man. Well, in essence, when you're raising young boys to be men and you're raising young girls to be women, and you tell the girls this, you're effectively throwing the boys under the bus before they become men. So you're basically telling the girls, these boys are not going to be suitable when you become adults. And when people say people are sabotaging the boys because they just want the boys to go work and be successful with no formal training or the idea of how to think. They don't care that the boys learn. They don't care that the boys learn how to think. They don't care that the boys learn how to plan. They don't care if the boys have goals or teach the boys how to reach their goals. Nothing. And then get mad at unsuccessful boys growing up to be unsuccessful men when you didn't help them be successful in any way. As a matter of fact, you basically told everybody they're not going to make it. So then when people say, well, you probably sabotaged them. Because if you made sure the girls were doing good, and you made sure the girls knew that the boys probably wouldn't do good, and the boys are in the same household, then obviously you didn't care that much about them. The old trope of you look just like your daddy. You gonna be just like your daddy. And and that was a negative stereotype. That has been a negative stereotype. That's never been a compliment. And that should let you know something. And then you got young boys who get offended when they say I'm gonna be like my dad, or they say I'll never be like my dad. And it gets interesting because this also applies when they're good guys. You know, a good guy might have cussed somebody out, cussed your mom out, and then I'll never be like him. Oh, okay, interesting. You know, you might have seen him lose his temper. He can't be a human being. And this is where this goes left for me because, you know, you're dealing with a group of men and boys who can't never be human beings. They can't go through the range of human emotions or human experiences because for some odd reason, even in the family we live, we're under the 3 strike laws, and being black and being a man means you already got 2 strikes against you, even in the black family. So, you know, people are just looking for a reason to write you off. Unless you wind up becoming successful, and then all of that doesn't matter for some odd reason. Then you're supposed to have the biggest, warmest, most open heart to take care of everybody else. Which brings me to another part of this, the black sheep of the black family thing. It's interesting when guys are successful, whether they be the fathers or the sons, that people have no concern about those men providing for their children. That becomes an issue because if he becomes successful and he becomes has money or is good with finances, y'all have no problem taking future food out of the children's or the grandchildren's mouth as far as inheritance, because you know you want something now, and these guys should give you something now. You know, that's the same thing with divorce and alimony. It's the same thing with family members moving in. It's the same thing with a family member wanting you to take care of other family members' kids. Like that whole thing, like you're basically paying your way into family heaven if you're successful with nothing in return. You know, think about it. When you're a black father, like who goes out of their way for you? Seriously, who? You know, you have to be a demonstrative figure just to get regular stuff done. I got to make sure you feel me just so you could do your doggone chores. Thus, you hate me. I got to make sure you feel me just so you don't spend all of the family's money, spend all of our family money. Thus, you hate me. That's interesting to me. There's no respect there. But I'm done. Like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch y'all on the next one. Peace.